Beep beep! What is up, ninjas? My name is SamWorld, and today's video is gonna be inspired by one of your requests. I got this comment on my last video on Yo San, how do we get the leads to sound airy like in Umek's Somniac, or I think that's the name of the song. But in essence, that lead is gonna sound like this. And that is going to be the Umek lead, and today we're going to be learning how to do something similar to that so that you can learn the Umek way. Now essentially what's going on here, guys, before we get into the tutorial, is that we're going to have two layers. One of them is going to be that mono pluck dun, 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 that you hear in the song, and then the second layer is going to be a supersaw sound. Now the key to this sound, the key to having this vibe, is going to be that supersaw sound, because this is the one that you're going to automate to create that nice movement the track has. It sort of has like a snake kind of vibe to it, and we can easily do this by automating the filter cutoff with a bit of resonance and a bit of distortion afterwards to get something very similar. Put in a little bit of white noise and we can get crazy movements just like that. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's tutorial inside of Ableton, guys. And before we start the tutorial, guys, if you guys want to support my channel, make sure to check out evilsounds.com. That's where I have a lot of sound banks, and I do have two techno sound sets that you guys can utilize, the Kraken and Paradox, which have been doing great. A lot of people are using it. Check it out if it's something that you would like to mess around with. Support the channel. Best way to do it. I ain't got no merch like shirts and stuff, but I'm giving you guys stuff that's even better, and that is source of inspiration for you guys to create your next techno track. With that being said, let's get started with this tutorial. Alright, and welcome inside of Ableton. Now, the first lead we're going to be creating, guys, is pretty simple, and it's going to be a pluck. However, here I have the melody of the song. Okay, so if you need like melody theory and stuff, pretty much this is going to be in B flat minor, guys, or A sharp minor, whatever you want to call it. And the way it gets that badass melody or very dark melody is just due to the fact that we're using and implementing the +1 semitone from the root note. This is heavily done in G house and whatnot. I've made videos on this, and I'm sure everyone knows about it already. But essentially, instead of hitting that C or that C sharp, you know, it gets that +1, which just sounds so badass. And then there's just a variation here that goes up to the D. Very simple there. So let's make a similar sound to the one in the track. All we have to do is get like maybe a supersaw going. We're going to mono it down by going into serums here and width parameter and just going to 0, which is going to make it mono. It's not going to make it so that the saws pan left and right when they're detuned. Next thing we're going to do is mono legato, maybe a little bit of over. And then we're going to shape this with an envelope, just a pluck. Distortion. +1 octave on that, and we should be good. This is good enough to show the example and how to create similar kind of wide stuff. Okay, from here, we're going to leave this like so. We're not going to put the reverb in here because we're going to be doing something in the future later on in the tutorial where if I put a reverb here and I do a Haas effect, which is what we're going to do, it's going to create a lot of phase issues. So we're just going to leave it like so for now. Or in fact, I'll put a bit of reverb, F it, and I can always take it off. Okay, so it doesn't have that little swing vibe to it, but it's good enough for me. So now the next thing we're going to put is a supersaw, guys, that is going to be getting filtered, a bit of white noise. And you're going to see why the white noise is super useful right now. First off, again. Now we're going to put a bit of resonance on this, and let's go with maybe an 18 or 24. And that's going to create that. Now, if we put the white noise and distort this, check how this sounds like. Oh, no. So essentially, that's what we're going to be doing with this sound. And then the resonance, we can automate it if need be. So now this is the hard part, which is going to be automating this, because some of the sounds like a pluck here, especially this layer. So let's do more of a pluck. Oops, that's the filter resonance. Newbie mistake right there, man. All right, let's get that cut off there. And we're just going to do this like so. And maybe a little. There we go. And then we're just... So we do that. And then here we can maybe work our way up like so. And then we should just slowly do it. And then here maybe go down. And you can do this any way you want, in all honesty. You don't have to follow this. This is just an example. And then we're just going to copy this guy over because it's the same thing. And then we can do the same exact thing, actually. Just copy all of this over there. And then here we can do... Now you can get intricate with this for sure. Like every note could get a little bit of like this weird kind of like reverse vibe here. So that's like... So kind of like, you know, kind of get the... Or... And then you go... And then go down. Let's put a bit of reverb. So it's gonna sound like together, okay? Let's make everything below 120 mono, because that's giving us a really huge bass there. But in essence, guys, that is going to be the ideal trick there. And then you can automate other things as well. I would probably get rid of the low end on one of these just because there's so much fucking low end in here already. Let's just do this. Okay, so that's essentially going to be what we're going to do. And now we can add a bit of filter resonation if that's what you want as well. So here, I kind of want to put it up a bit. And then here we can mess with it. Here you can have it higher or lower, you know. And you can do a lot of cool stuff, as you can see. That is the secret. That is the Umek way, essentially. Now, there's another thing that the lead in that track has, which is very interesting, and I think a lot of you guys will find useful. Now, this is where we have to get rid of that reverb in this lead, because if we do the trick we're about to do, you're going to get a bit of a phase. But I'll leave it on just so you can understand what phasing sounds like, because a lot of people like to throw that term around without really understanding what phasing means. So here, what I'm going to do is have a Haas effect, and we're going to do this with the Ableton delay. Okay, and in essence, what we're doing is we're just messing up the phase of the track. Okay, so we're gonna go into time. Both of these, one's here, 20 milliseconds here, no feedback, high, dry, and wet, and we're just gonna target the highs on this. Okay, that's essentially what we want. We don't want to target the whole sound because we don't want the whole sound to sound wide. We just want the hits, the top part of it, to sound wide, like in the track. So here I'm gonna route it to B, which is where I have my widener. So this is how it's gonna sound like. Check it out. You can hear this sound, and that's what's considered phasing. That's the bad thing about phasing. That's how it sounds like. Okay, so if I get rid of the reverb, that will solve our issue. So now from here, I'm just going to add a reverb right here. So in essence, I'll have this. Or maybe even you can add it here, but then it's going to bring back the phase because it's coming from the channel here. It's grabbing the signal from this channel, not from the group channel. So I can put the reverb on the group channel and not mess up the phase of this. But on this serum one, I am going to have to get rid of this reverb. I just don't want it to become too much. So you can see that movement, that intricate detail. Let's lower this here. Finally, guys, there's one last thing I want to add. As there's this little thing that happens in the song, which is a bit iffy, but what I think it's going to be a bit of reverb. So I think I'm going to use Endless Smile for this, as it's my favorite one to automate this stuff because it's just one knob. But in essence, when we have this song, we can create these reverb, kind of make the lead breathe kind of vibe by essentially just, and then bringing this down, sort of like a... then just get this right. And then here we can maybe have these little kind of automations happening on the lead. You don't have to do it like this, you know, you can just have it here and there, but I'm just doing it to overemphasize it. Okay, there we go. Let's put that on. But this is how it's gonna sound like on the main lead. So it's going to create those nice reverb swells that it has. So a combination of this and what we talked about is everything that is needed. Okay, so in essence, that's how we would create the effect. That's how we create a similar sound. But the beauty of that is that you can do this with anything, as long as you have maybe one lead that stays the same and the other one does the automation for you. I think that's a sick trick, because I used to think it was just one lead automating everything, but no, it's actually going to be this way. Because if you have that, that's going to be really hard. That's a shit ton of automations on just this guy here, controlling the resonance, the decay, the sustain, the cutoff. So do it however you want, guys. That is the Umek way. I hope you guys get it. And the Umek way, when you hit this is the part that is getting widened. And that's why this shot sounds mono and it sounds wide to a point where the hits are hitting you from the sides. Anyways, you guys take care. And again, if you want to support my channel, if you like watching these style of videos, you can go over to evilsounds.com, support my sound design work, guys. That's the best way to do it. Thanks to the people that support those packs, I'm able to do this full time and devote my time to helping you guys make the music you want, as well as making some sick samples and sounds for you guys as well. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Tomorrow is my son's birthday and I'm taking him to Legoland. So I'll see you guys Thursday for the feedback stream. Bring in your music. I'll see you then. You guys take care. Peace out.